Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering the alphabet of Ben Sira, Aleph through Zion.
And it's going to be incredible. It's going to blow minds. It's going to change lives. It's going to make a permanent impression.
I'm not going to put up any indicators of Aleph through Zion. I might put an A if that takes too long to change.
You can do that. Yeah, you can do like A, B, and then all the other letters.
Yeah.
All the other letters. And I'm very excited about the alphabet of Ben Sira because the alphabet of Ben Sira is probably the earliest example of a parody in Jewish literature.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Even more of a parody than the rest of the Bible.
Oh, it is. Oh boy. Okay. The way this text was looked at throughout history, sometimes it was looked at with reverence. Like, that's in extreme cases, but sometimes it was looked at with reverence. So somebody would be like, wow, this is amazing. What this new revelation is incredible. And it's like the gullible guy, just the most gullible person.
Like some Joseph Smith shit.
Yes. Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's just as insane.
Oh, Xenu, here he comes.
Wonderful.
That's
Scientology.
Yeah, not Joseph Smith.
I'm just listing more stupid things.
Okay, gotcha. But yes, it's this.
L. Ron Hubbard, man. L. Ron Hubbard had a bet going with Kurt Vonnegut to see whose invented religion would get more followers.
Well then.
How's Kurt's religion doing?
It doesn't exist.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
Impressive.
Never really took off.
And on the other end of the scale, this was seen as just the most vile form of blasphemy on the planet.
Oh, wonderful.
So real horseshoe here. So how about we talk about it a little bit? Just going to introduce it. Okay, I should probably introduce the only book that we are reading from today.
Yeah, forget all these other ones that you can't see.
Yeah. This is from a book called Rabbinic Fantasies, Imaginative Narratives from Classical Hebrew Literature, edited by David Stern and Mark Mirsky. And I mean, these guys are probably most famous for their work on the alphabet of Ben Sira.
And you've read other supplemental literature that you can fill in some gaps.
Yeah. Specifically Stern's paper on specifically why the book is a parody. But this composition here in my hands, it contains a lot of different stories. Let's see. Job's novella, The Sorcerer. Oh, here's an interesting one. The Misogynist. Asher in the Harem. Love in the Afterlife. Narrative Fantasies from Sefer Hasidim. And it just goes on and on. There are 16 of them. So, yeah,
they
lots
really have a story called The Misogynist.
Yes.
What's it about?
The Misogynist.
I could take a guess.
I'm sure you could.
A nice guy.
Yeah,
TM.
a nice guy.
So here is their introduction to the alphabet of Ben Sira, the fourth and final narrative, and this is, of course, talking in context, the one that they cover. So the fourth and final narrative from the early Geonic period, that's around 700 to 1000 CE. So, it's medieval, and it's pretty late, so this isn't like... This is not a biblical text. This isn't something that you can just go like, oh, this was left out of the Bible. Like, no. The canon had already pretty much formed by this time.
Yeah, and we probably have some like Kabbalah people running around by now too.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. All right. So from the early Geonic period is the alphabet of Ben Sira. This work, which through the centuries has provoked reactions ranging from utter scorn as a thing of blasphemy to pious reverence as a halakhic source, is perhaps the most unusual narrative text in all medieval Hebrew literature. So we talked about how it's already a parody. They go over that. He talks a little bit about how it's not really like how it probably wasn't unique, how there were probably multiple parodies in this vein. It's just the only one that we have that's surviving. The alphabet.
To be clear, there are comedies and other sections,
right,
like that aren't parodies.
Yeah, exactly. This would be a specific reworking of things we already know. Like, this is called the Alphabet of Ben Sira for a reason. It starts off by giving an explanation of the miraculous birth of Ben Sira. And I wanted to call this episode The Immaculate Conception of Little Ben Sira. I wanted to call it that because there's a movie called The Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle. And it's really bad. Don't watch it.
Wow.
Please don't go watch it. But I couldn't fit that all into the title. So sticking with Birth of Ben Sira.
That sucks.
Yeah, we would have gotten all those people looking for the Immaculate Conception of Little Dizzle.
Or other immaculate conceptions.
Right. We can't,
exclude those.
We can't discriminate here. The Alphabet of Ben Sira, an anonymous medieval work, has been preserved in several versions, which differ in both major and minor details. A composite text, its core is a series of 22 aphorisms arranged in alphabetical order and organized into a rough narrative, of course, making an acrostic poem. In most versions, the alphabet is preceded by the fantastic and provocative story of the conception and birth of Ben Sira and his early education. The final section of the work deals with Ben Sira in the court of the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar and consists of another series of 22 episodes. These comprise the various ordeals that Nebuchadnezzar sets for Ben Sira and the stories, many of them animal fables, that Ben Sira tells Nebuchadnezzar in answer to various questions posed by the king. So kind of along the lines of Aesop fables, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, and many other collections of fables.
Well, yeah, absolutely, I guess. All right. Based on internal evidence, the alphabet was composed in one of the Muslim countries sometime during the Geonic period, possibly as early as the 8th century. The fact that this work originated in a non-Christian country strongly militates against the theory that the account of the miraculous birth and prodigious childhood of Ben Sira was intended as a parody on the life and childhood of Jesus as found in the infancy Gospels, or as found in their Jewish version, Toledet Yeshu. And the infancy Gospels also can be hilarious. We actually have on the channel a pretty old video, but it's actually Richard Carrier doing a dramatic reading, which is actually still pretty good. It's still a very entertaining video. It's a dramatic reading of the infancy Gospel of Thomas. It's crazy, absolutely nuts. We'll probably go over that at some point once we get to New Testament Apocrypha.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Old Testament Apocrypha to get through.
I know. I'm just saying there's a finite
maybe
amount.
In a few decades.
We'll get there.
The
Jews of a non-Christian country had neither the need of nor the interest in such an enterprise. So we must look at its source elsewhere. The alphabet is composed in the style of an agogic midrash and treats various biblical characters and rabbinic motifs irreverently, at times almost to the point of inanity, I think. Inanity? I don't know.
I would say inanity.
Okay. This fact has led some scholars to conclude that the work was composed as an anti-rabbinic tract intended to disparage the genre of Agada. In fact, parts of the alphabet clearly parody not merely the genre of Agada, but specific passages in the Talmud and Midrash. Indeed, the alphabet may be one of the earliest literary parodies in Hebrew literature, a kind of academic burlesque, perhaps even entertainment for rabbinic scholars themselves, that included vulgarities, absurdities, and the irreverent treatment of acknowledged sancta. And because it was written in a Muslim country, it was probably for the populace. Because that was the general language of the area, I think, Arabic. So it's
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was around a lot, so this was for everybody, but also they could get a lot of laughs out of this. And you know what? That's what we plan on doing today. Getting a lot of laughs out of the alphabet of Ben Sira.
Oh. Very funny joke.
All right, so I'm going to hand it off to you, Ruben, and this is going. Oh, right. Oh, welcome back, Ruben, everybody.
Yeah.
He hasn't been here in a long time.
I'm back, and I'm here to collect your shekels. By the way, donation drive. Give us money. We'll get a thetan meter. That's basically it.
Yeah, that is basically it. So it starts
here.
Yep, with the birth of Ben Sira, and because this isn't in like chapters or anything, just hand it to me whenever you're bored, I guess.
All right. There's an editor's note beforehand.
Oh, great.
That since the time the translation was completed, a critical edition of the alphabet was published by Eli Yosef under the title Sipere Ben Sira, Jerusalem, 1984. Yosef's edition includes 2 parallel recensions of the text. While it has not been possible to retranslate the alphabet from either of those recensions, the original translation by Norman Brunsnick has been revised in the light of the critical edition, and the notes redrawn according to Yosef's exhaustive annotations, which I'm sure there's notes. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of them.
There's plenty of notes. Okay, I guess we'll have to flip back and forth because they set it up this way for some reason.
You know, that's not the first time we've encountered that.
Yeah. So, it is written, who does great things without limit and wonders without number. Job 9:10. Come and see how great are God's deeds. If Scripture says, who does great things without limit, why does it add, and wonders without number? And if it says, and wonders without number, why must it say, who does great things without limit? Yeah, this reads like the Talmud. All right.
Yeah, it does. It's going to be like that for a little bit, not too much longer.
Mm. How did the sages of blessed memory explain this? The phrase, who does great things without limit, refers to all the creations in the world, while and wonders without number was said about those 3 persons who were born without their mothers having slept with a man. And there's a note here.
Yeah, good. That's I feel like that deserves a note.
Yeah, there is no such reference in the extant Midrashic literature. As for the possibility of conception by artificial insemination, see B. Hagiga 15a.
Okay, so that's a Talmudic tractate, I think.
Yes.
So I can take a guess. So there's a okay, so the reference is 3 people.
Yeah, no looking.
Okay, sorry. The reference is 3 people that didn't need a mother?
Yep. No, well, who were born without their mothers having slept with a man.
Oh, okay. Let's go with I don't know, would you count Adam and Eve? Would you?
Yes.
Okay, then them and Jesus.
Well, the answer, these were Ben Sira, Rav Papa, Pappa, and Rabbi Zera.
Oh, okay, so 2 rabbis and Ben Sira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. All 3 were perfectly righteous men and great scholars of Torah. It's said about Rabbi Zera and Rav Papa that in their entire lives, they never engaged in trivial conversation.
Wow, that's impressive.
I think they meant they, but it's never slept in the house of study, not regular sleep, nor even a nap. And no one arrived at the house of study before them. They were never found sitting in silence, but they were always occupied in study, and they never failed to perform the sanctification of the Sabbath day.
Wait, so hold on. Were they Okay, so they were always in study,
Mhm.
but that's not being found in silence? Or like, I guess no one finds them while they're studying?
I guess they don't relax ever.
Oh,
They-
okay. That sounds pretty Jewish.
Yeah, that's,
Speaking as Jews,
I guess.
it sounds pretty Jewish.
They never gave a bad name to their fellows, nor did they honor themselves by disgracing others. They never went to bed cursing their colleagues. They never looked into the face of a wicked person, nor did they accept gifts.
Wow.
And they were generous men, thereby fulfilling the verse, I endow those who love me with substance. I will fill their treasuries. Proverbs 8:21. There's a note. Most of these qualities are attributed to various sages in the Talmud.
That sounds about right. But I guess they were perfect. They were as perfect as you can be for a human. They didn't even look upon the face of an evildoer.
No, absolutely
sleep.
not.
They no sleep,
Study only.
constant work. Yeah.
Except on Sunday.
So, oh man, how did their mothers give birth to Rabbi Zera and Rav Papa without having intercourse with their husbands? It said
I'd love
that
to know.
they once went to the bathhouse. Jewish semen entered their vaginas.
I'm sorry.
And they conceived and gave birth.
Oh, you know what subreddit this would go good in? I think it's men writing women or
Yeah.
bad women's anatomy.
Yeah. This reminds me of the people who think you can get AIDS by sitting on a public toilet.
Yeah, that shit. It's
Could
exactly like
if
that.
the toilet seat was made of AIDS.
Oh, yeah.
Just all of it.
But it's exactly
Why
like
is
that.
there so much Jewish semen in the bathhouse?
That's
Well-
what do you do when you bathe? I don't know.
You just go crazy, man.
in a public bathhouse. Yeah.
Other people will be in the bath, but
So wait, okay. So, do we ever learn who the father is? I know that the mother wouldn't know who the father is, but
yet neither sage knew who his father was.
oh wow, okay.
Ben Sira, however, knew the identity of his father and how his mother had given birth to him without lying to her husband. Of course, she couldn't lie to her husband about that.
Okay.
It said that Ben Sira's mother was the daughter of Jeremiah, which we're
that
in the middle of.
wouldn't
No.
work.
No, it wouldn't
That's-
even slightly.
That's
the timeline is-
centuries out.
Yeah. One day, Jeremiah went to the bathhouse, and he found wicked men from the tribe of Ephraim, who he saw were all masturbating. For the entire tribe of Ephraim of that generation was wicked. As soon as he saw them, Jeremiah began to admonish them. They immediately rose against him. Why do you admonish us? As the way to Beersheba lives, Amos 8:14, you will not leave this place until you join us.
What?
So he wants them to join in the circle jerk.
Of course.
This is great.
Leave me alone, cried Jeremiah. I swear to you, I will never reveal this. Did not Zedekiah see Nebuchadnezzar eating a hare? They responded, and swear to him by divine decree that he would never reveal it. And yet he broke his oath. There's a note.
Oh, I guess. Okay.
Nedarim 65a. So I guess it's in the Talmud. You will do the same. If you now join us, fine. If not, we will sodomize you just as our ancestors used to do in their idol worship. For if they did this with idols, you can be certain we will do it to you.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
So
circle jerk or gang rape? Damn.
yes,
Yeah,
those are the options.
And apparently
Wow.
their ancestors used to sodomize their idols.
Apparently.
So what are we just calling any like carving or figurine?
That you worship.
Okay, so like these are people who worship fleshlights.
And
Yes.
anal beads.
Yeah, great.
I mean, do you not? Oh,
Obviously.
shit.
In fear and dread, Jeremiah acquiesced. As soon as he left the bathhouse, though, he cursed his day, and it is said, "Cursed be the day on which I was born," Jeremiah 20:14. Jeremiah went and fasted on this account 248 days, the number of days corresponding to the limbs in the human body.
What?
Oh, yeah, all of my 240-something
The limbs in the human body?
Uh-huh.
Yes, that's what it says.
Is there a note on that?
No.
Bummer. All right. Good thing it's a parody.
As for that righteous man's semen, the drop was preserved until Jeremiah's own daughter came to the bathhouse and it entered her vagina.
Wait. So,
Ruben's just giving this look like,
So
it's
this
what it says.
So
it's what you think it is.
This
what you think.
This rusty sperm, this rusty sperm has been sitting in a bathhouse for a generation, and it has been preserved.
Correct.
And it's still okay. It's still good to go sperm.
Yep.
And for some reason, Jeremiah's daughter walks into this place and I don't know, sits on it, I guess, and is pregnant by her father?
Yes.
All right.
Obviously. How else could that happen?
Nope, no other way. That's not allowed.
7 months later, she gave birth to a baby boy who was born with teeth and with fully developed powers of speech.
Oh, wait, that's kind of a lot like
Jesus.
Well, no.
In the infancy gospel.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, no, for it was at the end of First Enoch, the birth of Moses, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Or Noah?
sure.
No, it was the birth of
Noah.
Noah. Yes, birth of Noah.
Right. There's a note. It says, to be born in the 7th month after conception is considered a mark of greatness. See Midrash Haggadol to Exodus 2:2.
Damn it, I was born in the 8th month.
Oof. Where it states, all prophets were born in the 7th month after conception.
Wow.
Premature?
Yeah.
Yes.
2 months premature.
Explains a lot.
All prophets were retarded. I mean, what?
After she gave birth, Jeremiah's daughter was ashamed. For some people said she had conceived because she had been promiscuous. But the boy opened his mouth and said to his mother, "Why are you embarrassed by what people say? I am Ben Sira, the son of Sira." "Sira, who is he?" she asked. "Jeremiah," the child replied. "He is called Sira because he is the officer over all officers, and he is destined to give names to every officer and king. If you compute them, the numerical values of the letter in Sira and Jeremiah are equal." Okay, so...
Wow.
Oh, wow. So he's nuts already. Hooray.
So the name Sira is explained as a superlative form of the Hebrew word for an officer, which is sar.
Okay.
But yeah, the gematria here.
Yeah.
I don't know if the gematria actually works out that way.
But it's clear that they were using it, and that was already, that was starting to gain popularity, right? Because that's when Kabbalists were starting to spread up.
So we might get more references to
Or at least
crazy
like proto.
numerology.
Yeah. At least I would say proto-Kabbalists.
Well, I mean, the Hekkelot were already around by that time. Probably some of the early Kabbalah literature was around. I don't think the Zohar would be.
No, Zohar was later. It was like 13th, 14th century.
Yeah. Anyways, she said to him, "My son, if this is true, you should have said, 'I am the son of Jeremiah.'" "I wanted to," he answered, "but it would have been unseemly to suggest that Jeremiah cohabited with his daughter."
Because this isn't unseemly.
No, apparently
This is an
not.
accident. It's totally fine.
"My son," she said, "it is written, that which has been is that which shall be." Ecclesiastes 1:9. "But Whoever saw a daughter giving birth by her father? My mother, the child answered. There is nothing new under the sun, Ecclesiastes 1:9.
Oh my gosh.
For just as Lot was perfectly righteous, so is my father perfectly righteous. Just as a similar occurrence happened to Lot under duress, so too it happened to my father. So Genesis 19:30 through 38. Saul Lieberman in his Tosefta Ki Shuta Megillah 1214 notes that nowhere in Jewish sources is Lot referred to by the epithet righteous. There is, however, some basis in the Midrash for such an appellation, where it is stated that whoever feeds the needy is called righteous, and Lot was such a person. See Genesis 19:1 through 22.
I'm sure we're not on A anymore or Alpha anymore.
No.
We're not even in that section. We're in the introduction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. Anyways, where was I? You amaze me, she said. How do you know such things? Don't be amazed by what I say. There's nothing new under the sun.
This is an infant talking.
Yes. Jeremiah, my father, did the same thing. When his mother was about to give birth, my father opened his mouth and called out from his mother's belly, I will not come out until you tell me my name. His father opened his mouth and said, come out and you will be called Abraham. My father replied, that's not my name. His father said, you will be called Isaac. And his father tried the name Jacob and the names of all the sons of Jacob, the fathers of the 12 tribes, and the names of all the men of that generation. But each time my father said, that is not my name.
You're right. It would be somebody else's name, but you can share a name.
Yes.
It's mine.
He needed something totally original, even though there's nothing new under the sun. His father said, you will be called Isaac. And, I read that. Finally, Eliyahu, the prophet Elijah of blessed memory, appeared and said, you will be called Jeremiah, for in your days God will establish a foe who will raise, Yarim, his hand over Jerusalem. My father said, that's my name. And you, Eliyahu, because you told me my name, I will also be called by your name. From your name I will take the ending Yahu, and I will be called Yeremiahu.
No, you're a Mayahu.
Yeah. Just as Jeremiah came out of the womb with the power of speech, so I have emerged with the power of speech. Just as he came forth with the power of prophecy, as it is said, before you came forth out of the womb, I sanctified you, I have appointed you a prophet unto the nations, Jeremiah 1:5.
And of course, the foe is being the Babylonians.
I too have emerged from the womb with the power of prophecy. As he left his mother's belly with his name, so have I. And as he composed a book arranged in alphabetical acrostics, the Book of Lamentations, I too will compose a book in alphabets. So do not be amazed by my words.
So is that coming up then?
Yep,
It's
on the next page at the very bottom.
Gotcha.
My son, his mother said to Ben Sira, don't speak, for the evil eye may fix its power over you. The evil eye has no authority over me. Besides, do not try to talk to me out of doing what my father did. To me applies the proverb, the ewe takes after the ewe, and the son follows the deeds of the father. This is see Ketubot 63a. Why do you interrupt me, my son? His mother asked. Because you know that I'm hungry and you give me nothing to eat. Here, take my breasts, eat and drink. I have no desire for your breasts.
All right, let's see. Let's see what he wants.
Go and sift flour in a vessel.
Wow.
Knead it into fine bread and get fatty meat and aged wine, and you can eat with me.
What a dick.
Yeah, it says, I'm following Lieberman's suggestion in his Shakin 34 that the Hebrew, that's an R next to an N, not an M. Tarnagola does not mean a hen, but a kind of pot. This suggestion seems to be correct because otherwise the Hebrew tarnagol rooster or tarnagolet hen would have been used and not the Aramaic tarnagola in a text that is composed in Hebrew. So there you go. And with what am I to buy these things? Make some clothes and sell them. That way you will fulfill the verse, she made a linen garment and sold it, Proverbs 31:24. And if you do also support me, you will fulfill the verse, many daughters have done valiantly, but you surpassed them all, Proverbs 31:29.
Right, that was that part of Proverbs that was like super sexist.
Yeah,
and
they're
they're pretty much like daughters are worthless, but
describing women of valor, the ideal wife of a rabbinic tradition.
Yeah.
That was a pretty horrific part of Proverbs.
Yep.
And then, obviously Ben Sira had his own thing about about daughters.
Yeah.
The shame they bring.
You can't even have their bedroom window facing the street.
Nope.
Yeah. Ben Sira. Catholics. Ben Sira's mother made clothes and sold them and brought him bread, fatty meat, and aged wine, and so supported him for 1 year. At the year's end, he said to her, "Take me to the synagogue." In Talmudic times, the synagogue served as a schoolhouse for children in elementary school. She took him to a teacher who had 7 daughters. Ben Sira sat next to him and said, "My master, teach me Torah."
Is this still an infant?
He's a year old now.
He's a year old now.
Oh, after a year, right. Okay.
Yep. Said the teacher, "You cannot be taught, for you're still too young." Our sages of blessed memory stated, at the age of 5 years, a child begins to study Bible. Mishnah Avot 5:24. But have you not learned, Ben Sira asked, the day is short, but the work is great. Mishnah Avot 2:20. And you tell me to sit and not to study because I am too young. In the cemetery, I can see children younger than I who are dead. Who knows what will be, whether I shall live or die?
That's a good point, Ben Sira.
Yeah. The teacher retorted, "How dare you instruct me?"
Oh.
Our sages of blessed memory declared, whoever teaches the law in the presence of his teacher is deserving of death.
Oh, my God.
Barakot 31b. Ben Sira replied, "You are not yet my teacher, for so far I have learned nothing from you."
Damn.
That's good stuff.
And now we're getting into the acrostic.
The acrostic. All right, handing it off to me.
Hand it off to you. I'm going to take a quick trip to the
All right, you do that.
restroom.
You do that. If you are enjoying the stream so far, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't. All that stuff shared around with your friends, your family, people that you know in prison. The undertaker at your local cemetery. Ask him about the dead children.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he must.
Want to know though.
So yeah, how about we continue here with this ancient parody, and this is where you'll get it pretty quickly here, Chris. The teacher said to him, "Say Aleph," and that's the beginning of this acrostic poem. So now you can put in the A. Yeah.
So lazy. It's gonna go fast too, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if we'll keep up.
All right, we'll try. Said Ben Sira. Of course, for anyone that doesn't know, an acrostic is when, let's say in English, we have all the letters A through Z, and then each line starts off with something that starts with that letter. So that's an acrostic. So the part of, we've went over them before. There have been acrostic poems. Psalm 121, I want to say, is it acrostic? I think it's that one. It might be a different one.
There were definitely a few psalms that had parts that were acrostic.
Yeah,
Not the complete acrostic.
Yeah. Said Ben Sira, abstain from worrying in your heart, for worry has killed many. All right, so don't worry, Ruben.
Because worrying kills you.
Yeah. The teacher.
It's true, though. It is legitimate cortisol, bad for you.
The teacher was, and hear me out, immediately thrown into a panic. did not heed that warning.
No, not at all.
And they said, I don't have a worry in the world. He said, except for the fact that my wife is ugly.
Well, that's definitely good for a parody. That's fine.
So now,
well, that's less of a worry. He doesn't have to worry about all those men walking by the street, looking at her and being like, "Oh yeah."
Of course. All right, next part of the acrostic.
Yeah, we're in bet.
Yep. Say bet.
Yep.
That.
He said to Ben Sira, by a beautiful woman's countenance, many have been destroyed, and numerous are all her slain ones. This is the nice guy mentality coming out.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. All the hot women ruining people's lives.
As they do.
The teacher said to Ben Sira, are you telling me this because I revealed my secret and told you that my wife is ugly? Do you find it wrong that I told you my secret? No, I think he's saying, I don't know why it's such a big secret.
I think anyone who would see his wife would understand.
Yeah, but also, like, he's safe, I guess. The teacher would be safe, right? Because
I mean,
because his wife is ugly.
He doesn't have to worry about those men from a frame lusting after her.
Yeah, exactly.
You still got to watch out for the circle jerk clubs at the bathhouses. You got to join them or they'll fucking fuck you.
Yes. But hey, Chris, do me a favor. Say Gimel. No,
because we're in Gimel now.
Oh, what?
Now we're in Gimel.
What do I put, a G?
Yeah, sure, why not? So say Gimel. Give over your secrets to 1 in 1,000, even if your friends are many. Again, the teacher said to Ben Sira, to you alone, to no one else have I revealed my secret. Advise me. This is a 1-year-old child.
This is a 1-year-old child. I've never told anyone this. Please tell me. Advise me.
No.
To you alone, to no one else have I revealed my secret. Advise me about what I am going to tell you. I want to divorce my wife on account of an especially beautiful woman who lives in my courtyard.
So a homeless woman?
Or yes.
One of his servants.
That too.
Okay.
Either way.
We're now in Dalit.
Yes, but also, Ben Sira said right before that it was the hot ones you had to worry about.
Yes.
And he's like, wait, hold on. I want to fuck a hot one.
No, don't do that. That would be terrible.
All right, so say Dalit. Defend yourself from a woman of charm as you would before flames of a burning coal. But what can I do? Asked the teacher. Every time I enter the house, she flaunts herself in front of me. Oh my God.
She just walks past him. She's flaunting herself in front of him.
I can't take my eyes off her. She is so attractive. This is exactly what a nice guy would say.
Yeah, no,
they think that
captured
women
captured by her radiant beauty. Why is she doing this to me?
They think that women existing is like them flirting.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, this is amazing. So glad we're reading this. Say, hey.
That's an H.
Hide your eyes from a charming woman, lest you be caught in her snare. My child, said the teacher, in what snare will I be caught? If it is some kind of witchcraft she might practice on me, I know that she will never use such craft against me. For her first husband had a thin beard, but mine is thick.
Oh yeah, that helps.
That tracks.
Yeah,
let's see the note on that.
So that's like, oh well, I'm not her type or whatever. I'm going to say, though, after reading The Wisdom of Ben Sira, that's a pretty accurate depiction of what Ben Sira's like.
Yeah. Let's see.
Good parody.
Apparently, the witchcraft that his fancied paramour might practice against him is the purpose of keeping him in her sexual clutches. What is not altogether clear is the teacher's reason for his conviction that this will not occur. The implication seems to be either that witchcraft is ineffective against a thick bearded person, or that's what I would have thought, or that such a person is endowed with an overabundance of sexual prowess. Thus, his wife need not use witchcraft to assure the full satisfaction of her sexual needs.
Of course.
I think the first one makes more sense.
Yeah.
For some reason, the first explanation of big beard keep magic away is better.
Big beard, no magic.
For some reason, that's just better.
I guess so.
Other one's not great either.
Now we're going into wow.
Yes.
W.
Yeah, you can put down W. They have it Vav, but
Well, it was wow.
Okay.
Back then, it's Vav in modern Hebrew.
Wow.
either way, say Vav. Vexation will fall on the man who follows his eye's desire. Let him know they are the children of harlotry, that nothing good will come from them. Vexation will fall on the man who follows his eye's desire. Okay. So don't cheat, because it's bad.
But he doesn't want to cheat. He wants to divorce his wife.
Exactly.
But I guess that would be bad too.
I suppose.
Not cheating on your spouse, but cheating in the game of marriage.
So what we can do actually is, and this is I knew this was going to be open to revision anyways, because this is supposed to be our last one for today, but we're only 42 minutes in, so we can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we just finish the acrostic?
Well, yeah, we can. The thing is, one of these is quite long.
Oh, why don't we get up to that one at least?
But also that's the last one.
All right, why don't we get up to that one?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see how much time is left when we're done.
All right, we're on Zion.
Okay.
Ah.
Yep, there we are. 0 be your scorn for the thin-bearded or thick-bearded man, for you know not what has been decreed for you. The teacher said, I do not wish to take your advice. I plan to marry her. I have 7 daughters, and she has 1, and they will support me in dignity. Well, if we know anything about Ben Sira, he's going to say, no, they won't.
Obviously not.
He didn't.
Because, the wisdom of Ben Sira talks about how your children are a constant threat for your dignity.
Yeah.
He was really critical on daughters.
Say het.
Het.
That's a CH.
Thanks. I'm sorry. I'll just do everything.
Cherished by every person are male children, but woe to the father of females. That's very Ben Sira.
Very Ben Sira.
Yeah. But I have 7 daughters, the teacher objected. And they spin and do all the housework for me. They are like a lush olive tree in my home, like a beautiful garden. How can you say to me, woe to the father of females? If there were no females, where would males come from? Good question.
Excellent question. Let's see what Ben Sira's answer.
Ben Sira says, poor man. You comfort yourself with worthless consolation. For the sages stated, happy is the man whose children are male, and woe to the father of females. Pesahim 65a. And accordingly, I spoke to you. Furthermore, when a female comes forth from the belly of her mother into the air of this world, the heavens, the earth, the stars, and the constellations, everything that has been created in the world mourn that this has happened.
Wow.
Be very, very upset. But when a son comes forth into the air of the world, the entire universe rejoices. If a man has a baby girl and you ask what the wife of that man gave birth to, oh my God, he tells you with a weak voice and a heavy head and downcast eyes, a baby girl. But if it's a baby boy, he answers brightly, she gave birth to my son. And he speaks strongly, enunciating clearly, and with his eyes raised high, very confident.
So, yeah, never have a daughter.
No, it's bad.
Yeah, it's terrible.
No.
The entire universe mourns.
Yeah, exactly. So you better have a boy, otherwise you're gonna be a beta.
Obviously.
Say tet.
That's a T.
Chris, say tet.
That.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. Said the teacher. Treasure of no value is a daughter to her father.
Oh.
Because of fear for her, he does not sleep at night. That's pretty much an exact quotation from Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Anyways, say yud.
Yod.
The Y. Yeah.
It's a Y.
Okay. Why?
Why?
Yay.
Yay.
Her custodian will certainly not sleep. When she is a child, he fears she will be molested. When she is a girl, that she will be raped. And when she has reached her adolescence, that she will be promiscuous. Everything you have said is true, said the teacher.
Oof.
That's where that one ends. Say cough. You can't do that.
That's illegal.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been more than 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's a K.
All right. Come her marriage, you worry the most that she will not have sons, and when she grows old, you fear that she will engage in witchcraft. Will you, though?
Was that a what?
That she'll be pretty, because all pretty women do witchcraft.
Oh,
See, I
yeah.
figured it out.
Oh, okay.
So-
You know what? Fair enough.
Those damn women with their hexes, they, by walking past a man, they're casting evil spells.
Obviously. The close association of women with sorcery is already intimated in the Bible, while the biblical legal code is generally formulated in the masculine gender. The law regarding sorcery is put in the female. Yeah, that's why you should not permit a sorceress to live, specifically female.
Yes, the male sorcerers are.
They're fine, yeah.
Yeah.
The rabbis were quick to note that the law applies equally to the sorcerer, and they explained that the Bible mentions the sorceress in particular because it was more common for women than it was for men to engage in the practice of sorcery. That is not true, especially if you are a believer of the Bible. Who is doing the most sorcery in the Bible?
The Witch of Endor.
No.
Moses.
Yes. And also all those Egyptian guys where they,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Snakes to sticks?
Yeah.
That's not magic.
I'm assuming that the Witch of Endor cast more spells than just that one incident that we see.
That's why I said in the Bible.
Yeah.
Fair.
She was in the Bible.
I know she was in the
not
Bible,
all of
but
her
not
spells.
all of her things were in the Bible.
You know who else casts spells? God.
God's a dude,
Sh-
apparently.
Do you want to call that?
God is a dude.
I don't know if you want to call that spells or not. I wouldn't call it spells.
He's doing. He literally speaks incantations. And
But would you call it spells?
it's casting.
If it's coming from a god, would you call it a spell?
Yes.
Yeah, it's divine magic.
Just divine magic.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Think about the Egyptians, right?
I understand the similarity. I get where you're going.
No, not
What?
the Egyptians in the Bible. The Egyptian magic that you
Yeah,
read
yeah.
about, right? Their gods definitely cast spells. And being as they see the pharaohs as gods, but they also cast
Sure.
spells.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah. So divine magic.
Well, I haven't met any real committed male Wiccans. They're all female.
Yeah.
How come that? Huh? Think about.
It's because of Ben Sira.
Knew it.
Yeah.
Totally lines up with that your inner that guy or whatever.
Oddly enough, the verse regarding the sorceress appears in the Bible right after the laws governing seduction and is immediately followed by the law concerning sleeping with an animal. This prompted the medieval exegetes to conclude that sorcery is part of this complex because it was used as an instrument for inducing fornication. Yeah, he's got
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
either way.
So happy.
You got to worry about women doing magic. That's what they're saying. All right, say Lamed.
That's L.
Lamed.
Let not your youth pass away in sleep, and in old age do not marry an elderly woman, for an old woman saps your strength, even if you are a young man, while a young virgin increases your strength and potency. Wow.
Apparently.
Hey, good to know.
It's like, if I marry an old woman, I'm going to have to take care of her when the diggity gets down to the doggities. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Thank you.
I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're an M now.
Yes, say mem.
Mem.
Moist and sweet and invigorating are the juices of a young woman.
You know, I'm just not comfortable with this entire statement. Skin crawling. It's not good.
Oh my God. But those of an old woman are bitter as gall.
Oof.
Remember, that was a magic part of a fish, wasn't it? Also?
Yes. Yeah. You rub it on your eyes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah. No more blindness.
They sap your potency like a well whose waters were drawn out by the wind. All right.
Ugh.
Say nun.
That's N.
None.
Never tie yourself to an evil woman whose tongue tyrannizes you. An evil woman is like a mad dog. Even when she is locked behind doors, she barks at everything. Wow.
Wow.
This is...
The most misogynistic thing yet.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I understand that
Like a mad dog.
Sirach
She's
was,
a bitch. She's a bitch and she's bitching. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's literally what he's saying. Wonderful.
And he's still talking to a 1-year-old, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
very opinionated 1-year-old.
Yeah, obviously. Say Samek.
Samek, is
That's
that
an S.
Scribes and scholars should marry virgins, not women who have had intercourse. For the juices of a virgin will be yours alone to enjoy. Those of a woman, not a virgin, have already been drained by a stranger, not you.
Is that how that works?
I think this is Stefan Molyneux talking through, through the book.
Yeah. Okay. We're in incel territory now.
These are the nicest guy things I've ever heard.
Say Ian.
Iron, is that an I?
That's a silent letter, so just an apostrophe, I guess.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, do an apostrophe. I, not a widow, covet not her beauty in your heart, for her children are the offspring of harlotry.
Ugh.
Is that how
Damn.
that works?
Widows.
Is that how that works?
Apparently.
I don't think that's how that works.
Apparently.
We would agree that's not how that works, but this is how he thinks. This 1-year-old is explaining how he thinks it works.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Say pet.
That's a P.
P.
Protect yourself from evil companions. Do not travel with them. Avoid going with them, for you may be snared in their trap. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't hang out with evil people.
Wow.
Never hang out with the evil people.
No. Say tsari.
TS.
Store away money in your lifetime, my son. Wait. This 1-year-old is calling his teacher, quote unquote, his son. But of course, his son probably is that indicator that he's saying that he's his teacher.
Yeah. Of course, because previously it was established that this other guy hasn't taught him anything.
Exactly. Hide it well. Don't give it to your heirs until the day you die. Don't give your money to your heirs until the day you die. Say koof.
It's another K one.
Koof.
Koof. We got the koof.
A little bit.
It's cough.
Oh, okay.
I think.
KUF.
Well, it might be koof.
Keep your money for yourself and a good wife who fears God, and have many sons, even 100. Have 100 sons.
With no daughters.
No,
Absolutely.
no.
Humanity's doomed by this guy.
You don't want a daughter.
That bad.
You'll be sad about it. You'll be worried about her the whole time, and apparently it's her fault that that's the case. So yeah, daughters are bad.
Yeah.
Say resh.
R.
Rush.
Run away from wicked neighbors, and don't be counted in their company, for their feet run to evil, and they rush to shed blood. Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's very Proverbsy. It's very wisdom of Ben Sira.
Yeah.
These blood-shedding evildoers.
I love bloodshedding and evildoers. Similarly, have passion for your neighbors, even if they are wicked. Share your food with them, for when you appear in court, they will give testimony about you. So stay on their good sides. Say shin.
SH.
Shun quarrels with your neighbors, my lord. Listen to my words. Turn your ear to my speech. Even if you should see something evil in your neighbors, do not malign them with your tongue.
Ooh.
Say tav.
Oh, this is the last one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one with like the super long.
Yeah, it's pretty long. You want to take this one?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
Okay.
Is it a T?
It's a T.
Yeah.
Where does it stop?
Well, it stops once we get to chapter 1.
Oh, that's where chapter 1 is.
Yeah.
Okay. Satav. Troves of gold, buy for yourself anything that's money, but never tell your wife where your wealth is, not even if she's a good woman. The teacher said to Ben Sira, the laws of nature have to be changed for you. There's nothing new under the sun, replied Ben Sira, for Jeremiah taught Baruch ben Neriah the same way, and the laws of nature were not changed. Jeremiah said to Baruch, say Aleph. Alas, Baruch replied, lonely sits the city.
Oh, so do we have an
Lamentations
acrostic
1:1.
within an acrostic?
Apparently.
Okay.
Jeremiah said, say Bet. Bitterly she weeps in the night, Lamentations 1:2, Baruch answered. And so they continued through the entire alphabet, as you can see in the book of Lamentations. And this has a note here that I'll flip to somewhere deep in here.
It's definitely in there.
Yeah, okay. So Lamentations, Rabbah, 43. Jeremiah 36, 4-7. It is said about Ben Sira that he mastered the book of Leviticus in one day. The teacher said to him, "The laws of nature have to be changed for you." Ben Sira answered, "There's nothing new under the sun, for Jeremiah did likewise. Furthermore, it is written, and Benaiah ben Jehoiada, the son of a living man," 2 Samuel 23:12.
Yeah, I recognize that name. Yeah.
Yeah. "Was everyone dead and only he alive? But living must mean that he was alive in the study of Torah, for he mastered the book of Leviticus in one day."
That's what that means? Okay.
See Barakot 18b. Leviticus is considered to be the most difficult book in the Pentateuch because it contains the most biblical laws.
So it's like going to law school.
Mhm. It's also said that Ben Sira, that during that year he mastered the entire Pentateuch. The following year he mastered the Bible, the Mishnah, the Talmud, the Halakot, and the Aggadot.
So in his first couple of years of life,
Yeah.
Yes,
he mastered all of that.
by the age of 3.
That's impressive.
During the third year, he studied the fine points in the interpretation of the biblical laws and in the rabbinic enactments. In the fourth year, the different languages spoken by palm trees, the ministering angels, and the demons, as well as fox fables. During the
Palm trees.
Yes, palm trees.
All right, let's roll with the language of the palm trees. Whoa, dude, you can't say that on live TV.
Yeah,
I mean,
know,
I am
right?
insulted.
Oof, you should be. During the sixth year, he mastered Sifra, Sifre, and Tana de Be Eliyahu. By the seventh year, there was not a major or minor subject that he had not studied. Come and see how great was the wisdom of Ben Sira. They would bring him a measure of wheat, and he would tell them, "Count the wheat in this measure, and you will find exactly this number of grains." His fame spread through the world until Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, heard of his wisdom. From whom did he hear? From his own wise men. When Nebuchadnezzar's wise men heard of Ben Sira's wisdom, they said, "Woe to us! Nebuchadnezzar will now destroy us. Let us defame Ben Sira before the king. He will summon him, and we will ask Ben Sira a difficult question concerning something we know, but he does not. If he does not give us the correct answer, we'll have him killed." They did this.
As you do with children.
Yeah, a 7-year-old. They
By the
told
way,
the
age
king.
of wisdom is 7, so he's finally old enough to be wise.
Oh, of course. They told the king, who sent for Ben Sira. Then he asked the wise men, "What question do you wish to put to him?" They replied, "What are Oi and Nehi?" What
I don't
are Oi
That's a
and
good
Nehi?
question.
In biblical Hebrew, used primarily in Jeremiah, Nehi means a cry of anguish. It is perhaps because he identifies Sira with Jeremiah that the author of the alphabet of Ben Sira made use of this word rather than any of its synonyms for a cry of anguish. Taken as it reads, the entire passage seems to be inane. The question that Ben Sira is asked, instead of being the stumper one would expect, turns out to be so simplistic that anyone with a minimum of intelligence could easily have supplied the appropriate answer. Apparently, however, the wise men tried to use negative psychology in order to confound Ben Sira. By asking Ben Sira an absurdly simplistic question, the wise men expected Ben Sira, whose wisdom was being put to the test, to conclude that the question contained some deep concealed meaning. He would thus be misled into providing a far-fetched and incorrect answer, which would then justify the wise men's demand for Ben Sira's execution.
To be fair, that is a fun thing to do to people.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just make something up.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
then- and then-
Pikachu's yellow, right?
Like, yeah. Like when like if you make something up and then somebody's like, "Yeah, I've heard of that." It's like, "No, you haven't, because I just made it up."
It's a good test.
Yeah.
Or to ask such a dumbfoundingly simple question in the middle of a barrage of philosophically
Hey, what
difficult tasks. You know?
what's the sound of one hand clapping?
Yeah, there you go.
Oof.
Everyone's favorite.
Got him.
If he does not, we shall put him to death. 1,000 horsemen who proved their courage by cutting off their fingers and uprooting a tree as they rode. These acts were used by Bar Kokhba to test the bravery of his would-be soldiers.
Oh wow.
were called to bring Ben Sira. The horsemen spoke in unison to the king, "Our lord, we will go anywhere in the world you wish to send us, but do not make us go to a Jewish sage. He will destroy us as Elisha did to the troops of Aram." That's in 2 Kings 6:15 through 18.
Yeah, that's what the... Yeah, I definitely covered that in the Heavenly Horseman video.
Nebuchadnezzar wrote down for them, "And the beasts of the field also have I, God, given Nebuchadnezzar to serve him." Jeremiah 27:6. Then he told them, "When Ben Sira speaks to you, go and inform him of this sign that God promised me, and he will come with you." And he wrote it down for them in a letter. But when the horsemen came to Ben Sira and showed him the letter, he told them, "He did not send you for me, but for a hare that I own." At once he took a hare and wrote down on its head, "Here is a beast of the field, let it serve you." Said Nebuchadnezzar, "How is the hare's hair shaven clear as parchment? This cannot be done with a razor of iron or of anything else. I see that its flesh is still within it, whereas it is impossible for parchment to retain the flesh within it." He could not figure out how this had been done, so he immediately sent another troop to Ben Sira with this note, "If you do not want to come in my honor, come in honor of your hair." Ben Sira was quickly mollified and agreed to go.
Wow.
When he made his journey,
Does it say hair spelled
Hare.
Oh, okay.
When he made this journey, Ben Sira was 7 years old. The wise men of Nebuchadnezzar immediately gathered and asked him the question, "What are Oi and Nehi?" Ben Sira replied, "When you heard about me, you had Oi, and now if I kill you, there will be Nehi for you." Explain precisely what Nehi and Ve are.
Define the terms.
The scribe of this
What
manuscript
is?
was inconsistent and interchanged the biblical Oi with its rabbinical equivalent Ve. Other manuscripts maintain the biblical Oi throughout the passage.
Well,
Oi, Ve.
yeah.
Ben Sira answered.
I mean, it's an obvious joke, but it had to be made.
Yeah. There are two kinds of Ve with different meanings. If a man goes and grabs a dog and holds him by the ear, Ve to him for certain. But if a lion comes upon a man before he has a chance to save himself from being bitten by a snake, then you have a case of Oi and Nehi. When they heard this, the wise men became frightened, but they hid their terror and said, "We do not know what you're saying. Demonstrate Ve and Nehi before our eyes."
What?
Ben Sira
Why are they
immediately...
terrified?
Ben Sira immediately went and took a crystal with 2 openings and caught 3 snakes and 3 scorpions. He placed the scorpions in the bottom opening and the snakes in the upper one. Then he closed the crystal and came before the king. The wise men asked, "What's in the crystal?" "Look for yourself," he answered. One of them put his hand in the upper opening of the bowl. Filling snakes, he cried out, "Ve, what is this?" Then he put his hand in the bottom opening. A scorpion stuck him, and he called out, "Ve and Nehi." "Now you know what Ve and Nehi are," Ben Sira said. "You have seen them for yourselves."
Exclamations?
Yeah. The wise men
Ow.
trembled in fear and fell upon their faces. Then the king told them, "We agreed that if Ben Sira did not know what Ve and Nehi are, you would have him executed. But since he did know, you are now liable to the death sentence that you wish to pronounce upon him."
Wow.
This is why you don't just proclaim death sentences on
Is that how the
people.
law works?
Like, back in the
apparently.
day, some of the laws were if you were like, this guy did something so bad that he deserves to die, and you were proven wrong, they might just kill you. Yeah.
Huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you're playing with people's lives there.
Or you could just be wrong.
yeah.
No, they just want justice in some way, and so they'll pick whoever and kill him. That's
Oh,
pretty
alright.
common, actually.
The wise men answered, "The king can do to his servants as he wishes." He immediately handed them over to Ben Sira, who said, "Did you not bring me here for the purpose of Ve and Nehi?" He cast them into a lion's den where they died with Ve and Nehi.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Then the king took Ben Sira and sat him upon a golden throne and placed a crown on his head. "I will enthrone you because you are fit to be king." "My lord," Ben Sira replied, "I cannot. I'm too young, as well as not qualified to reign over Israel since I'm not of the seed."
I feel like that's a little bit of a commentary on what was the name? Jehu, right?
Yeah,
The 9-year-old.
It says here, but Jehoash became king at the age of 7.
Okay, Jehoash.
Nebuchadnezzar protested. And this 2 Kings 12:1.
Yeah, but he's like a child.
Yeah, he was a royal seed. I see that you're not willing, said the king, but stay here with me in my kingdom, for I wish to ask you about everything I see in the world that I do not understand. 7 years old. Imagine.
Wow.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep, Nebuchadnezzar himself.
You know,
Hey, small child.
Yeah, why don't you tell me all the wisdom?
Yeah. My lord, Ben Sira said, ask whatever you desire, and I will explain everything you wish. The king then asked him 22 questions, all of which Ben Sira answered. These were the questions. And then we get into that next time.
Yeah. So we
Because
had
the rest of the book is these
Chapters.
questions and
Yes.
answers
yes,
that he gets.
and it's during these questions and answers that we come across Lilith.
Oh, not the Lilith of Isaiah.
No,
Not
not that one.
not that one.
The Lilith of modern pop culture.
Oh, wow. Well, the alphabet of Ben Sira is nuts.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I hope people are enjoying the alphabet because it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, and if you've enjoyed it so far, check us out. We got an Amazon wish list filled with books that you can buy, and we'll add them to the table and read them on the air and stuff.
Yeah, and perhaps one of them will be nearly as funny as the alphabet. So.
Maybe. But we also have a Patreon. If you want, you can go on there. We got all kinds of stuff. You could, for $1 a month, you could get all of our video scripts for our scripted videos.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, for $50 a month, you could be on one of our weekly shows once a month.
You can join hangouts, t-shirt giveaways every month.
And if you don't want to enter the t-shirt giveaway thing, you can just buy one of our t-shirts on Teespring.
Yeah, all the links are in the description.
Yep.
And you know what else is in the description? Links to our Facebook and Twitter. It's free to follow us on there.
Incredible. And yeah, that's about all.
Yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the alphabet so far. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll talk about this, when the cameras are off, how much we're going to be doing next week. Maybe we can do 11 and 11. I don't know. But either way, thank you, everyone, for joining us. And
we will see you on Sunday.